your heart cries, just your hand in mine, just that slow, soft light. If this is all we get, then it's strange all every small touch feels like a spell right here, right now, where the warm waves swell under this moon. Thoughts come and go like birds on a wire. Watch them wave, let them fade. Property tax rates are fair. I found a little bit left hand, same man. This year, a house like mine is over $3,000. Property tax, water tax, garbage tax, $48 billion. Property taxes are on the rise. Up 15%, water tax up $29 more, property taxes 45 more. For the years I served our country and I spent years serving I served our country and I spent years serving this city. Strong. I served our country and I spent right hand, left hand, same man. That's the number stamped on my dog tag. I'm an office and I'm keeping my promise. Exhale, I walk the water. Eyes closed, soft heart, strong step. I live that. I live that. Right here. For the years I wore the uniform for our country, years that taught me loyalty. That's the number stamped on my dog tag when I served overseas. It reminds me every. That's the number stamped on my dog tag when I served overseas. It reminds me every day what duty and intent. What an all. That's the number stamped on. Anytime. Otherwise drowning in debt. Property. Tax. What an all. Ground to the sky. Chicago. I'm just. Breathe like the tide. Rolling, rolling by. And I'm keeping my promise. Ravens was property taxes? Got me out. Like birds on the wire. Watch them, then wait. Let them fade. Let them tire. I found the middle, right here, right hand, left hand. proud to announce that starting this year, property taxes are being cut by 10%. We're bringing on 10. Tonight we write a new chapter. Tonight we write a new chapter. Property taxes are being cut by 10%. We're bringing on 10,000 new police officers and fire. Tax like 50% paying the moderate garbage tax multivated. We'll see in our next. So the property tax rates. settle for nothing, I never been regular. Always knew I can do better. I finally made it this far and I'm not. Needed to see all the talent I put in. I mean the money you. What's up? To the property tax in Texas when I began to put in office and property tax while I was drowning in. I served our country. Tonight we run it. What's up? The apocalypse spot. You know what? It's the apocalypse that I ran. Still I stand, God in this place. Every scar etched in my skin feels like proof you live within. When I falter, you are thunder. When I'm broken, you are breath. Every heartbeat tearing under turns to courage out of death. Liberty, God, you lift up a kingdom, you set on a crown. Liberty, God, intelligence. Whisper my name in the silence. Teach me the beauty of grace. Make me a shield for the weary. Make me a stronghold of faith. Liberty, God, intelligence, love, light and fire over the ashes and blood of the ground. You lift up a kingdom, you set on a crown. Liberty, God, intelligence, love. This is the old gospel. I carry your light like a blade in the storm. Yours is the crown I wore for. Iron sky, smoke on the hill. Every wound, remember it still. We were dust, kneeling in chains. Now we rise, calling your name. In the dark, I hear the answer. In the roar, I hear a hymn. Every fear becomes a banner when your fire burns within. Liberty, God, intelligence, love, rain and fire above. Over the ashes and blood of the ground, you lift up a kingdom, you sit on a crown. Liberty, God, intelligence, love, name that I'm fighting for. I carry your light like a wind in the storm. flash on the banner, smoke in my love, steel in my finger, blood on my tongue. I march through the thunder, boots cut the dust, name on my armor, burned into rust. Master of the burning dawn, I raise my broken hand. Light that tears the dark apart, lead me through these lands. Master of the universe, roar inside my chest. I will wear your blinding fire, armor in my flesh. Sky split open, white scars of your will, shadows scatter when you say be still. I walk through ruin, eyes fix ahead. You cannot tear me into roaring tread. Master of the burning dawn, I raise my broken hands. Light that tears the dark apart, lead me through these lands. Master of the universe, all inside my chest. I will wear your blinding fire, armor in my flesh. Hmm? What the fuck?
Only your mouths shall drink of the delicious wine, the wine of Iacchus. They shall reach ever to the heavenly kiss of the beautiful God. 33. I reveal unto you the great mystery. Ye stand between the abyss of height and the abyss of depth. 34. In either awaits your companion, and that companion is yourself. 35. You can have no other companion. 35. Many have risen, being wise. They have said, seek out the glittering image in the place ever golden, and unite yourselves with it. 35. Many have arisen, being foolish. They have said, stoop down into the darkly splendid world, and be wed to it, blind creature of the slime. 38. I who am beyond wisdom and folly, arise and say unto you, achieve both weddings, unite yourselves with both. 39. Beware! Beware! I say, lest ye seek after the one and lose the other. 40 my adepts stand upright, their head above the heavens, their feet below the hells. 40 more. But since one is naturally attracted to the angel, another to the demon, let the first strengthen the Of initiation. Only your mouth shall drink of a delicious wine, the wine of righteousness. They shall reach ever to the heavenly kiss of a beautiful God. 33, I reveal unto you a great mystery. Yet stand between the abyss of heights and the abyss of depth. And for thee awaits your companion, and that companion is yourself. 35, you can have no other companion. Many have arisen, being wise. They have said, seek out the glittering image in the place ever golden, and unite yourself with it. 37, many have arisen, being foolish. They have said, stoop down unto the darkly splendid world and be wedded to the blind creature of the slime. I will beyond wisdom and folly arise and say unto you, achieve most weddings. Unite yourself with both. Beware! Beware!
I offered it once on earth. Before an hour hath struck upon the bell, ye shall be with me in the abodes that are beyond decay. 34 night awaits your companion. 34 night awaits your companion. And that companion is yourself. 35 they can have no other companion. 36 many have arisen, being wise, they have said, seek out the glittering image, place ever golden, and unite yourselves with it. 37 many have arisen, being foolish, they have said, stoop down unto the darkly splendid world, and be wedded to that blind creature of the slime. That I who am beyond wisdom and folly arise and say unto you, achieve both weddings, unite yourselves with both. 39, beware, beware, I say, lest ye seek after the one and lose the other. 40 my of them stand upright, their head above the heavens, their feet below the hells. But you who have defied the law, you who have conquered by subtlety, or force, or force, or force, I am the God who giveth all. 21 life, love, force, fantasy, fire, these do I bring you. Mine hands are full of these. 20. There is joy in the setting out. There is joy in the journey. There is joy in the goal. 23. Only if ye are sorrowful, or weary, or angry, or discomforted, then ye may know that ye have lost the golden thread, the thread whereby guide you to the heart of the groves of ellipses. My disciples are proud and beautiful. These are my enemies, and I am come to destroy them. This also is compassion, an end to the sickness of earth, a rooting out of the weeds, a watering of the flowers. 21, 28, I love you. I would sprinkle you with the divine dew of immortality. This immortality is no vain hope beyond the grave. I offer you the certain consciousness of bliss. Maybe the reason you have so many illegal That's the number stamped on my dog tag when I served overseas.
But you, who have defied the law, you who have conquered by subtlety or force, I am the God who giveth all. 20 I ask you to sacrifice. Nothing at mine altar. I am the God who giveth all. 20 with light, love, force, fantasy, fire. Renew. Full of thee. There is joy in the setting out. There is joy in the journey. There is joy in the goal. 20 only if ye are sorrowful, or weary, or angry, or discomforted, then ye may know.
I want to say, if the Trump and Israel want to defend their agenda and they want to be voice of our innocent.
Okay, this is the Gold Book Club. We're about to show the line. We're about to finish up a book. Been about a month in the making. I think we're down to the last 10 pages and we're about to finish it live on YouTube. Bonus show the line. Then concentrate the whole will for a long time. Call to itself the escaped soul using all the loving thoughts and mental caresses of which one is capable. If the operator inspires in that soul much affection and great respect, if in the thought which he communicates magnetically to you, the thaumaturgist can persuade it that life is still necessary to it, and that happy days are still in store for it below, it will certainly return, and for the man of everyday science, the apparent death will have been only a lethargy. It was after a lethargy of this kind that William Postle, recalled to life by Mother Jane, reappeared with a new youth, called himself no longer anything but Postle, the resurrected, Postellis restitutus. In the year 1799, there was in Faubourg Saint Antoine at Paris a blacksmith who gave himself out to be an adept of hermetic science. His name was Lariche, and he passed for having performed miraculous cures and even resurrections by the use of the universal medicine. A ballet girl of the opera, who believed in him, came one day to see him, and said to him, weeping, that her lover had just died. M. Lariche went out with her to the house of the dead. As he entered, a person who was going out said to him, "It is useless for you to go upstairs. He died 6 hours ago." "Never mind," said the blacksmith. "Since I am here, I will see him." He went upstairs and found a corpse frozen in every part except in the hollow of the stomach, where he thought that he still felt a little heat. He had a big firebrand, massaged his whole body with hot napkins, rubbed him with the universal medicine dissolved in spirit of wine. He pretended universal medicine must have been a powder containing mercury, analogous to the kermes of the druggist. Subnote: made by boiling black antimony sulfide with sodium carbonate solution, used in gout and rheumatism, and some skin diseases on the continent, or rarely in England. Meanwhile, the mistress of the dead man wept, called him back to life with the most tender words. After an hour and a half of these attentions, Lariche held a mirror before the patient's face and found the glass slightly clouded. They redoubled their efforts and soon obtained a still better marked sign of life. They then put him in a well-warmed bed. A few hours afterwards, he was entirely restored to life. The name of this person was Candy. He lived from that time without ever being ill. In 1845, he was still alive and was living at Place des Chevaliers du Guet 6. He would tell the story of his resurrection to anyone who would listen to him, and gave much occasion for laughter to the doctors and wiseacres of his quarter. The good man consoled himself in the vein of Galileo, and answered them, "You may laugh as much as you like. All I know is that the death certificate was signed and the burial license made out. 18 hours later they were going to bury me, and here I am."
You that will be the all of love.
Okay, below as above, above as below. This is chapter 3. We're almost finished with this book. The grand arcanum of death. We often become sad in thinking that the most beautiful life must finish, and the approach of the terrible unknown that one calls death disgusts us with all the joys of existence. Why be born if one must live so little? Why bring up with so much care children who must die? Such is the question of human ignorance in its most frequent and its saddest doubts. This too is what the human embryo may vaguely ask itself at the approach of birth, which is about to throw it into an unknown world by stripping it of its protective envelope. Let us study the mystery of birth, and we shall have the key of the great arcanum of death. Thrown by the laws of nature into the womb of a woman, the incarnated spirit very slowly wakes and creates for itself with effort organs which will later be indispensable, but which, as they grow, increase its discomfort in its present situation. The happiest period of the life of the embryo is that when, like a chrysalis, it spreads around in the membrane which serves it for refuge, and which swims with it in a nourishing and at that time it is free and does not suffer. It partakes of the universal life and receives the imprint of the memories of nature, which will later determine the configuration of its body and the form of its features. That happy age may be called the childhood of the embryo. Adolescence. They seek him here. They seek him there. Those blasted Frenchies, they seek him everywhere. Is he in heaven? Or is he in hell? That blasted, infernal pimpernel.
Hey, what's up, John? What's going on, man? Just reading. What's this book about?
This is Eliphas Levi, Key of the Mysteries.
Oh, okay, same one. Awesome. You're almost done.
Yep. Page 283. Took me about a month.
How's the voice changer thing? Does it work pretty well, or is it...
Yeah, it works, dude. It would not match your voice. You would be undetectable. You know what you should do? You know what you should do is create scandalous room titles and then pedo bait a lot of the pedo losers and sick, losers on this app.
You should see the back channels I get. I don't respond to it.
Yeah, you should try to bait some of these people. And the most fucked up part is they'll talk to you and they'll know that you're baiting them, but they'll still talk to you. Like you will be their dopamine, excitement for the moment. It's sick. People waste their time here. They don't create anything.
Yeah, no, I really enjoy this job. They're fantastic. There's some diamonds in the rough. I should do that though.
I thought about trying to do it because there's a lot of people on here that are big talkers, and you'd easily be able to get. Trust me, the big talkers on here, a lot of them, you'd see, you could bait a lot of people on this app.
What would be a good title like that? That would be yeah.
You'll have to figure that one out yourself.
Okay.
And what about me being the black man? Hey, yo, what's up, dude? What's going on?
Well, you should recreate a new profile with that PTR.
Yeah. So, you know what's so funny? It's I'm running every day. There's some reactions. Check it out.
So it's like no one ever. Besides that's what.
Okay, I'm going to finish this book. This is page 282. Adolescence follows. The human form becomes distinct, and its sex is determined. A movement takes place in the maternal egg which resembles the vague reveries of that age which follows upon childhood. The placenta, which is the exterior and the real body of the fetus, feels germinating in itself. Something unknown, which already tends to break it and escape. The child then enters more distinctly into the life of dreams. Its brain, acting as a mirror of that of its mother, reproduces with so much force her imaginations that it communicates their form to its own limbs. Its mother is for it at that time what God is for us, a providence, unknown and invisible, to which it aspires to the point of identifying itself with everything that she admires. It holds to her, it lives by her, although it does not see her. It would not even know how to understand her. If it was able to philosophize, it would perhaps deny the personal existence and intelligence of that mother, which is for it as yet only a fatal prison and an apparatus of preservation. Little by little, however, the servitude annoys it. It twists itself, it suffers, it feels that its life is about to end. Then comes an hour of anguish and convulsion. Its bonds break. It feels that it is about to fall into the gulf of the unknown. It is accomplished. It falls. It is crushed with pain. Strange cold seizes it. It breathes a last sigh which turns into a first cry. It is dead to embryonic life. It is born to human life. During embryonic life, it seemed to it that the placenta was its body, and it was in fact its special embryonic body, a body useless for another life, a body which had to be thrown off as an unclean thing at the moment of birth, the body of our human life. Is like a second envelope, useless for the third life. And for that reason we throw it aside at the moment of our second birth. Human life compared to heavenly life is veritably an embryo when our evil passions kill us. Nature miscarries and we are born before our time for eternity, which exposes us to that terrible dissolution which St. John calls the second death. According to the constant tradition of ecstatics, the abortions of human life remain swimming in the terrestrial atmosphere which they are unable to surmount, and which little by little absorbs them, drowns them. They have human form, but always lopped and imperfect. One lacks a hand, another an arm. This one is nothing but a torso, and that is a pale rolling head. They have been prevented from rising to heaven by a wound received during human life, a moral wound which has caused a physical deformity. And through this wound, little by little, all of their existence leaks away. Soon the moral soul will be naked, and in order to hide its shame by making itself at all costs a new veil, it will be obliged to drag itself into the outer darkness and pass slowly through the Dead Sea, the slumbering waters of ancient chaos. These wounded souls are the larvae of the second formation of the embryo. They nourish their arid bodies with a vapor of shed blood, and they fear the point of the sword. Frequently they attach themselves to vicious men and live upon their lives as the embryo lives in its mother's womb. In these circumstances they are able to take the most horrible forms to represent the frenzied desires of those who nourish them. And it is these which appear under the figures of demons to the wretched operators of the nameless works of black magic. These larvae fear the light. Above all, the light of the mind. A flash of intelligence is sufficient to destroy them as by a thunderbolt, and hurl them into that Dead Sea which one must not confuse with the sea in Palestine so called. All that we reveal in this place belongs to the tradition of seers, and can only stand before science in the name of that exceptional philosophy, which Paracelsus called the philosophy of sagacity, Philosophia Sagax. The key of the mysteries, chapter 4, Arcanorum, the great arcanum, that is to say, the unutterable and inexplicable secret is the absolute knowledge of good and of evil. When you have eaten the fruit of this tree, you will be as the gods, said the serpent. If you eat of it, you will die, replied divine wisdom. Thus good and evil bear fruit on one same tree, and from one same root. Good personified is God. Evil personified is the devil. To know the secret or the formula of God is to be God. To know the secret or the formula of the devil is to be the devil.
They'll talk to you, and they'll know that you're baiting them, but they'll still talk to you.
Oh, Normo! I'm reading a book. Oh, just a quick pop in and pop out, I see.
You who is conquered by subtlety, your force. I am the God who giveth all. That ye have lost the golden thread, the thread wherewith I guide you to the heart of the groves of Eleusis. My disciples are proud and beautiful. They are strong and swift. They rule their way like mighty conquerors. 25. The weak, the timid, the imperfect, the cowardly, the poor, the tearful. These are mine enemies, and I am. This also is compassion, an end to the sickness of earth, a rooting out of the weeds, a watering of the flowers. 25. Oh, my children, ye are more beautiful than the flowers. Ye must not fade in your season. 28. I love you. I will sprinkle you with the divine dew of immortality. 29. This immortality is no vain hope beyond the grave. I offer you the certain consciousness of bliss. 30. I offer it at
that ye do is right, if so be that ye enjoy it. Then I am come against sorrow, against weariness, against them that seek to enslave you. 11, I pour you. To wish to be at the same time God and devil is to absorb in oneself the most absolute antimony, the two most strained contrary forces. It is the wish to shut up in oneself an infinite antagonism. It is a drink. It is to drink a poison which would extinguish the suns and consume the worlds. Charité, mystère, sacrifice, providence, perfection, do est. It is to put on the consuming robe of Denera. It is to devote oneself to the promptest and most terrible of all deaths. Woe to him who wishes to know too much, for if excessive and rash knowledge does not kill him, it will make him mad. Subnote 1, an allusion to Shiva, the patron of adepts who drank the poison generated by the churning of the milk ocean. See Bhagavata Purana Skanda. Levi therefore means in this passage the exact contrary of what he pretends to mean. Otherwise, this "be good and you will be happy" chapter would scarcely deserve the title Arcanum Arcanorum. To eat the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil is to associate evil with good and assimilate the one to the other. It is to cover the radiant countenance of Osiris with the mask of Typhon. It is to raise the sacred veil of Isis. It is to profane the sanctuary. Intelligence, progress, amour, sagesse, lumiere, beauté, rectitude, genie, enthusiasme, harmony. The rash man who dares to look at the sun without protection becomes blind, and from that moment for him the sun is black. We are forbidden to say more on this subject. We shall conclude a revelation by the figure of 3 pentacles. These 3 stars will explain it sufficiently. They may be compared with that which we have caused to be drawn at the head of our history of magic. By reuniting the 4, one may arrive at the understanding of the great arcanum of Arcana. It now remains for us to complete our work by giving the great key of William Postel. This key is that of the tarot. There are the 4 suits: Netza, le air, Keta pole arctique, Chod le feu, Marcot pole antarctique, le U, le Trere Yesod, le fouet. Wands, caps, swords, pentacles corresponding to the 4 cardinal points of heaven, and the 4 living creatures are the symbolic signs and numbers and letters formed in a circle. Then the 7 planetary signs with the indication of the repetition, signified by the 3 colors, to symbolize the natural world, the human world, and the divine world, whose hieroglyphic emblems compose the 21 trumps of our tarot, the key of the mysteries. In the center of the ring may be perceived the double triangle forming the star or seal of Solomon. It is a religious and metaphysical triad analogous to the natural triad of universal generation in the equilibrated substance. Around the triangle is the cross, which divides the circle into 4 equal parts, and thus the symbols of religion are united to the signs of geometry. Faith completes science, and science acknowledges faith. By the aid of the ski, one can understand the universal symbolism of the ancient world and note its striking analogies without dogmas. One will thus recognize that the divine revelation is permanent in nature and humanity. One will feel that Christianity only brought light and heat into the universal temple by causing to descend therein the spirit of charity, which is the very life of God himself. Epilogue. Thanks be unto thee, O my God, that thou hast called me to this admirable light. Thou, the supreme intelligence, and the absolute life of those numbers and those forces which obey thee in order to people the infinite with inexhaustible creation. Mathematics proves thee. The harmonies of nature proclaim thee. All forms as they pass by salute thee and adore thee. Abraham knew thee. Hermes divined thee. Pythagoras calculated thee. Plato, in every dream of his genius, aspired to thee. Oh my God, my friend. I'm on the last page, 290. I just finished a book. You want to hear the last page? My friend came to read a book with me, because that's what friends do. My friend, welcome.
Hello, my friend.
My friend is here.
I saw Mr. Jeff. I put in a good word for Mr. Jeff.
Mr. Jeff.
Mr. Jeff.
Mr. Jeff.
Congratulations, you read a book.
Not yet. This is the last page. Are you ready to hear it?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, but before I read it to you, I want you to take the deepest breath of the day.
Take the deepest breath of the day and hold for 10 seconds.
But only one initiate, only one sage has revealed thee to the children of earth. One alone could save thee. I and my Father are one. Glory then be his, since all his glory is thine. Thou knowest, O my Father, that he who writes these lines has struggled much and suffered much. He has endured poverty, calumny, proscription, prison, the forsaking of those whom he loved, and yet never did he find himself unhappy, since truth and justice remain to him for consolation. Thou alone art holy, O God of true hearts and upright souls. And thou knowest, if ever I thought myself pure in thy sight, like all men I have been the plaything of human passions. At last I conquered them, or rather thou hast conquered them in me, and thou hast given me for a rest the deep peace of those who have no goal and no ambition but thyself. I love humanity because men, as far as they are not insensate, are never wicked but through error or through weakness. The natural disposition is to love good, and it is through that love that thou hast given them as a support in all the trials that they must sooner or later be led back to the worship of justice by the love of truth. Now, let my books go where thy providence shall send them. If they contain the words of thy wisdom, they will be stronger than oblivion. If, on the contrary, they contain only errors, I know at least that
To wish to be at the same time God and devil is to absorb in one's...
If, on the contrary, they contain only errors, I know at least that my love of justice and of truth will survive them, and that thus immortality cannot fail to treasure the aspirations and wishes of my soul that thou didst create immortal. The key of the mysteries, La Clef de Grands Mystères by Eliphas Levi.
Book.
What was the last book you read? Key of the Mysteries by Eliphas Levi. How many pages was it? 290 pages. How long did it take you to read it? 1 month. What did it talk about? I don't know. You have to check out my YouTube channel. What do you mean? Oh, I read it on YouTube. Why would you do that? Because I wanted to record it and put it on YouTube. I know, but like, why would you do that? To put it on YouTube. That's weird. Hello? Sophia.
Hello?
Sophia, welcome, Sophia. It's not often we have a beautiful blonde sitting in our goo. Let me mod you, my friend. You know, you are a real friend of mine. Hello?
I accidentally left my car unlocked for a week while I was in Florida, and a homeless man was living in my car.
You're shitting me.
No, yes. I mean, no. I parked it in my uncle's driveway. I can't open the driver's side. I parked it against the fence. I chose to left the driver's side unlocked because the lock is broken. I didn't think a homeless man would actually be living in my car. I thought maybe it would get rifled through. But a homeless man turned out was living in my car and smoking a lot of cigarettes in the car, and now it smells strongly of cigarettes.
Dude, I am sorry, bro. That is major.
Homeless man. That's
major
the risk. That's the joy of city living. It's like a raccoon broke into my feed shed. That's the equivalent if you live out in the country. In the city, oh man, a hobo lived in my car for a week. Oh fuck, you know.
Well, my passenger side door handle is broken, and people love to try to open the car door, you know, and so quite regularly I have to like readjust it because they think that they're going to be able to open that door, but the door is broken. So they just pull the handle off over and over again. But people definitely try to get into my car, and it's, you know, it's all because of that handle. I know people are trying to get into my car because they keep fucking my handle up. And I'm like, man, how many people are going to keep trying to get into this car? But I feel bad for you, bro. That sucks, dude. Sorry, man.
I don't tell you to complain about it. I tell you because I thought it was a funny story.
I would be very angry if I experienced that. That could put me into homicidal, John.
If I saw the person I might have killed them. But the person was not around, and so then I had to find the joy. I had to find the joy in every moment.
Well, they say,
because, you know, there's joy in every moment.
Yeah, the experience
Is
is joy.
that your girlfriend in the picture?
Maybe.
Oh, she's pretty.
Oh my God, you saw Mr. Jeff.
I told you I put in the good work for you with Mr. Jeff.
What did he say? Did he like immediately like quiver and be like, "Oh, I fucking hate you for even bringing
Well,
this
it was
name"?
funny because like I was talking with him and I was introducing him to Alia and I said, well, this is my friend Jeff. And to be honest, like Jeff is my first friend from Clubhouse who I've ever met. And Jeff was surprised by that because I guess he's met a bunch of people from Clubhouse. And said, well, it's funny because I love Jeff, but Jeff isn't even like really my best friend from Clubhouse or anything. And then Jeff said, well, wait, who's your best friend from Clubhouse? And I said, well, you already know the answer to that, but you don't want to know. And he was like, oh. And then Jeff was like, oh, him? And I was like, really? He's not that bad. Like, he's a nice guy.
Oh no, spoiled the whole fucking thing from the get-go.
Yeah, but it was funny. But no, Jeff is a nice guy, and we had a couple of drinks. Good guy, Jeff.
Yeah,
Mr. Jeff.
he seems like a good
But I
guy.
have to go to Jiu-Jitsu, Rabbana Shalom, and I will return.
Bona shalom. Just Danny and I in this
Is
house.
Dylan gonna be there? Are they gonna duke it out?
I know Danny and I are all home alone. What are we gonna do, Danny?
Was that his girlfriend? Did he answer that question?
Yeah, this is girlfriend.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna start reading a new book. It's called What is Tao by Alan Watts.
No.
Oh yeah.
Why do you have an Anon in your room, Chicago?
Because of you, probably, not me.
Like, is that a different Fed following me?
The Tao that can be told is not the eternal Tao. The name that can be named is not the eternal name. The unnameable is the eternally real. Naming is the origin of all particular things. Free from
What
desire
are you talking about killing?
is one of the most intriguing and refreshing ways of liberation to arrive in the West from the Far East in modern times. With over 50 translations, the nature of Taoist thought is often overlooked by Western readers who are hesitant to embrace a seemingly strange and foreign way of knowing. But in the philosophy of the Tao, one finds a surprising contemporary perspective. The word Tao, properly pronounced Tao, has lent its name to a way of understanding and living in the world with profound implications for modern societies. Above all else, Taoism places great emphasis on the balance between our human awareness and our natural being as an integral part of the web of life. It embodies our deepest understanding of ecological awareness. The mystical side of Taoist thought, on the other hand, is highly enigmatic. For here one finds a doorway into the shamanistic world that flourished in China over a span of at least 5,000 years, right up to the period in which the Taoist texts were written. When people see some things as beautiful, other things become ugly. People see some things as good, other things become bad. Being and unbeing create each other. Difficult and easy support each other. Long and short define each other. High and low depend on each other. Before and after follow each other. Therefore, the master acts without doing anything and teaches without saying anything. Our place in nature. Many years ago, when I was only about 14 years old, I first saw landscape paintings from the Far East. It was a result of looking at these paintings that I first began and feeling for the world of nature. One painting in particular that I remember was called Mountain After Rain. It is fascinating for us to consider that pictures of this kind are not just what we would describe as landscape paintings, because they are also icons, a kind of religious or philosophical painting. In the West, when we think of iconographic or religious paintings, we are accustomed to pictures of divine human figures and of angels and saints. When the mind of the Far East expresses its religious feeling, however, it finds appropriate imagery in the objects of nature. And in this very important respect, the feeling for nature is different from ours. The contrast in these two forms of expression arises as a result of the sensation that the human being is not someone who stands apart from nature and looks at it from the outside, but instead is an integral part of it. Instead of dominating nature, human beings fit right into it and feel perfectly at home. In the West, our attitude is strangely different, and we constantly use a phrase that sounds peculiar indeed in the ears of a Chinese person. We speak of the conquest of nature, the conquest of space, and of the conquest of great mountains like Everest. One might very well ask us, what on earth is the matter with you? Why must you feel as if you are in a fight with your environment all the time?
Cash, his kids and grandkids get to go to Harvard, and he gets to be the military dictator of Iran. That is a fucking tempting offer, and that is a much fucking smarter offer than giving weapons to the retarded civilians of Iran. And anyone that disagrees with me, I'm eager to hear you criticize.
I just want to say
So
something.
I have a best case scenario option.
Kevin, can I just make one small point? You talked about Iranian army. The problem is Iranian army is siding with IRGC, so there is no help from them. I just want to make this point that
At the same time, God is to absorb in oneself the most absolute antimony. The two most strange contrary forces. It is the wish to shut up in oneself an infinite antagonism. It is a drink. It is to drink a poison which would extinguish the suns and consume the worlds. Charite, mystère, sacrifice, providence, perfection, do est. It is to put on the consuming robe of Denera. It is to devote oneself to the promptest and most terrible of all deaths. Woe to him who wishes to know too much, for if excessive and rash knowledge is generated by the churning of the milk ocean, Sigbhagavata Purana Skanda. Levi therefore means in this passage the exact contrary of what he pretends to mean. Otherwise this be good, and you will be happy. Chapter would scarcely deserve the title Arcanum Arcanorum. To eat the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil is to associate evil with good, and assimilate one to the other. It is to cover the radiant countenance of Osiris with the mask of Typhon, rectitude genie, enthusiasme, harmony. The rash man who dares to look at the sun without protection becomes blind, and from that moment for him the sun is black. We are forbidden to say more on this subject. We shall conclude a revelation by the figure of 3 pentacles. These 3 stars will explain it sufficiently. They may be compared with that which we have caused to be drawn at the head of our history of magic. By reuniting the 4, one may arrive at the understanding of the great arcana of Arcana.
If I saw the person, I might have killed them. But the person was not around, and so then I had to find the joy. I had to find the joy in every moment.
Well, they say...
There's joy in every moment.
Yeah, the experience
But
is
is
joy.
that your girlfriend in the picture?
Maybe.
Oh, she's pretty.
Oh my God, you saw Mr. Jeff.
I told you I put in a good word for you with Mr. Jeff.
What did he say? Did he immediately quiver and be like, "Oh, I fucking hate you for even bringing this
Well, it was funny because I was talking with him and I was introducing him to Alia, and I said, "Well, this is my friend Jeff." And to be honest, Jeff is my first friend from Clubhouse I've ever met. And Jeff was surprised by that because I guess he's met a bunch of people from Clubhouse. And said, well, it's funny because I love Jeff, but Jeff isn't even really my best friend from Clubhouse or anything. And then Jeff said, well, wait, who's your best friend from Clubhouse? And I said, well, you already know the answer to that, but you don't want to know. And he was like, oh. And then Jeff was like, oh, him? And I was like, really? He's not that bad. He's a nice guy.
Oh no, spoiled the whole fucking thing from the get-go.
Yeah, but it was funny. But no, Jeff is a nice guy, and we had a couple of drinks. Good guy, Jeff.
Yeah.
He's still Jeff.
You see
But I have to go to Jiu-Jitsu, Rabbana Shalom, and I will return.
Rabbana Shalom. Just Danny and I in this
Is
house.
Dylan gonna be there? Are they gonna duke it out?
I know Danny and I are all... The unnameable is the eternally real. Naming is the origin of all particular things. Free from desire.
What are you talking about killing?
You realize the mystery.
Are you guys gonna kill
Caught
me,
in desire. You see only the manifestations.
Property taxes 10% in 2027, and the water, sewer, and garbage.
Introduction by Mark Watts. The ancient philosophy of the Tao is one of the most intriguing and refreshing ways of liberation to arrive in the West from the Far East in modern times. With over 50 translations of the Tao Te Ching into Western languages to date, the classic work of Taoist literature offers its readers great wisdom for living, as well as advice on worldly affairs. It is also a fascinating window into the mysterious world of pre-dynastic China. The very practical nature of Taoist thought is often overlooked by Western readers, who are hesitant to embrace the seemingly strange and foreign way of knowing. But in the philosophy of the Tao, one finds a surprising contemporary perspective. The word Tao, properly pronounced Tao, has lent its name to a way of understanding and living in a world with profound implications for modern societies. Above all else, Taoism places great emphasis on the balance between our human awareness and our natural being as an integral part of the web of life. It embodies our deepest understanding of ecological awareness. The mystical side of Taoist thought, on the other hand, is highly enigmatic. For here one finds a doorway into the shamanistic world that flourished in China over a span of at least 5,000 years. right up to the period in which the Taoist texts were written. They'll talk to you, and they'll know that you're baiting them, but they'll still talk to you. Like, you will be their dopamine, excitement for the moment. It's sick. People waste their time here. They don't create anything.
I'm not advocating for it. We don't want Americans to die for us too. Don't get me wrong. We don't want anyone to get killed.
Let me give you
an alternate, something for you to think about. So let me put an alternate scenario. Since every single person in this room wants the IRGC dead, we're all unified. We're just debating tactics, but we all agree on the same end goal. I believe many wars have been won by embargoes. So I would humbly submit to the room a U.S. embargo on Iran. We simply announce any ship or train or truck coming into Iran from any neighbor for any reason will be destroyed by the American and the Israeli. And what that means is people in Iran won't starve because Iran produces all the food it needs, but 100% of the weapons resupplies are essentially coming from China and Russia and other countries. So an embargo could last 6 months or a year. No, that's what I would advocate as a way to defeat them with zero dead America.
Man, I'm hearing all that is airtight.
No, you can go ahead. I don't want to say anything.
Yeah, and I'm surprised I haven't heard this because this is an age-old weapon that has destroyed and toppled empires for centuries. It's even killing ours. Oh yeah, look. What I'm saying is, where are they? We need somebody that got some fall off the bone Persian rug carpet to get up in there in the IRGC and front the hell out of one of them and take this shit down. Why y'all can't do that?
Believe it or not, I live in LA. For the past 3 days, I've been looking into these programs or shit like that I could sign up in order to go do something over there, but can't really find anything except volunteer shit, and I don't even know how it works, but I've been doing some research about it.
Bro, let me share this. I was just thinking about it out loud while people were talking. It just spurred my brain. So we were...
Strong wine that giveth you delight both at the sunset and the dawn will come with me, and I will give you all that is desirable upon the earth. Because I give you that of which earth and destroys not but a shadow. So till they flee away, but my joy abideth even unto the end. I have hidden myself beneath a mask. I am a black panther,
In the name of the Lord of Initiation. Amen. 1. I fly and I light as an hawk. Of mother of emerald are my mighty sweeping wings. 2. I swoop down upon the black earth, and it gladdens into green at my coming. 3. Children of earth, rejoice! Rejoice exceedingly! For your salvation is at hand. The end of sorrow is come. I will ravish you away into mine unutterable joy. I will kiss you and bring you to the bride. Oh, I will spread a feast before you in the halls of happiness. I am not come to rebuke you or to enslave you. I bid you not turn from your voluptuous from your idleness, from your follies, but I bring you joy to your pleasure, peace to your languor, wisdom to your folly. When come against sorrow, against weariness, against them that seek to
saying that my manager be on me, gang.
Paul Mix.
Manager?
Paul was
I'm a bigger artist than you. And I don't even know what you doing now.
When I fly and I light as a hawk, of mother of emerald are my mighty sweeping wings. 3 children of earth, rejoice! Rejoice exceedingly! For your salvation is for you in the house of happiness. 6. I am not come to rebuke you or to enslave you, but I bring you joy to your pleasure, peace to your languor, wisdom to your folly. 9. All that ye do is right, if so be that ye enjoy it. 10. I am come against sorrow, against weariness, against them that seek to enslave you.
Be thou therefore prompt and active as the sylphs, but avoid frivolity and caprice. Be energetic and strong like the salamanders, but avoid irritability and ferocity. Be flexible and attentive to images like the undines, but avoid idleness and changeability. pander to thy lust of debauchery. Wouldst thou force the spirits of the evening breeze to minister to thy folly and caprice? Know that with such desires thou canst but attract the weak, not the strong, and in that case the weak will have power over thee. 21. In the true religion there is no sex. Therefore take heed that thou blaspheme not the name by which another knoweth is God. For if thou do this thing in Jupiter, thou wilt blaspheme. HB, foe, HB, Yod, and Osiris, HB, foe,
Be thou therefore prompt and active as a sylphs. Let avoid frivolity and caprice. Be on intelligence strong like the star of wonders.
active as the sylphs. But avoid
Let
frivolity and
avoid
caprice.
insanity and
Be
fantasy.
against consulting the salamanders.
Be unto things that avoid idleness and change of
Images like the early.
such desires thou canst not the strong. And in that case, the weak will have power over thee. 21. tickled by expressions of gratitude. 12. Remember that unbalanced force is evil. That unbalanced severity is but cruelty and oppression. But that also unbalanced mercy is but weakness which would allow and abet evil, act passionately, think rationally. Be thyself. 14. True ritual is as much action as word. It is will. 14. Remember that this earth is but an atom in the universe, and that thou thyself art but an atom thereon, and that even couldst thou become the god of this earth, whereon thou crawlest and grovelest, that thou wouldest even then be but an atom, and one amongst many. 15. Nevertheless, have the greatest self-respect, and to that end sin not against thyself. The sin which is unpardonable is knowingly and willfully to reject truth, to fear knowledge, lest that knowledge pander to thy prejudices. To obtain magical power, learn to control thought, and live only those ideas that are in harmony with the end desired, and not every stray and contradictory idea that presents itself. Therefore, as hath already been said, establish thyself firmly in the equilibrium of forces, in the center of the cross of the elements, the cross from whose center the creative word issued in the birth of the dawning universe. 19. Be thou therefore prompt and active as the sylphs, but avoid frivolity and caprice. Be energetic and strong like the salamanders, but avoid irritability and ferocity. Be flexible and avarice. Not for reward, not for gratitude from them, not for sympathy. If thou art generous, thou wilt not long for thine ears to be tickled by expressions of gratitude. 12. Remember that unbalanced force is evil, that unbalanced severity is but cruelty and oppression, but that also unbalanced mercy is but weakness, which would allow and abet evil, act passionately, think rationally, Be thyself. 13. True ritual is as much action as word. It is will. 14. Remember that this earth is but an atom in the universe, and that thou thyself art but an atom thereon, and that even couldst thou become the god of this earth whereon thou crawlest and grovelest, that thou wouldest, even then, be but an atom, and one amongst many. 15. Nevertheless, have the greatest self-respect, and to that end sin not against thyself. The sin which is unpardonable is knowingly and willfully to reject truth, to fear knowledge lest that knowledge pander not to thy prejudices, to obtain magical power, learn to control thought, admit only those ideas that are in harmony with the end desired, and not every stray and contradictory idea that presents itself. 17. Fixed thought is a means to an end. Therefore, pay attention to the power of silent thought and meditation. The material act is but the outward expression of thy thought, and therefore hath it been said that the thought of foolishness is sin. Thought is the commencement of vision, and if a chance thought can produce much effect, what can a fixed thought do? Ether, and how already thou therefore prompt and active as the sylph, but avoid frivolity and caprice. The ether is its normless and be not hasty to condemn others. How knowest thou that in their place thou couldst have resisted the temptation? And even were it so, why shouldst thou despise one who is weaker than thyself? 7. Thou therefore who desirest the magical gifts, be sure that thy soul is firm and steadfast, for it is by flattering thy weaknesses that the weak ones will gain power over thee. Humble thyself before thyself, yet fear neither man nor spirit. Fear is failure, and the forerunner of failure, and courage is the beginning of virtue. Therefore fear not the spirits, but be firm and courteous with them. For thou hast no right to despise or revile them. And this too may lead me astray. Command and banish them. Curse them by the great names if need be, but neither mock nor revile them. For so assuredly wilt thou be led into error. 9. A man is what he maketh himself within the limits fixed by his inherited destiny. He is a part of mankind. His actions affect not only what he calleth himself, but also the whole universe. 10. Worship and neglect not the physical body, which is thy temporary connection with the outer and material world. Therefore, let thy mental equilibrium be above disturbance by material events. Strengthen and control the animal passions, discipline the emotions and the reason, nourish the higher aspirations. One who is weaker than myself. 7. Powerful who desires magical gifts. Each that thy soul is firm and steady. Therefore, fear not the spirits, but be firm and courageous with them, for thou hast no right to despise or revile them. Lest you may lead your strength command and banish them, curse them by the great names that need be, but neither mock nor revile them, for so surely will thou be leaded to error. Now the man is what he likes, his subjections and heretics, for his inherit destiny. He is the cause of mankind, which is the battle we want to defend. But also the whole universe. And worship and neglect not the physical body which they have earthly dimension with the outer and material world. Therefore, let thy mental equilibrium be above disturbance by material events. Strengthen and control the animal passions. Discipline the emotions and the reason. Nourish the higher aspirations.
Learn first, O thou who aspirest unto our ancient order, that equilibrium is the basis of the work. If thou thyself hast not a sure foundation, whereon wilt thou stand to direct the forces of nature? Know then, that as man is born into this world amidst the darkness of matter, strife of contending forces, so must his first endeavor be to seek the light through their reconciliation. Now then, who has trials and troubles, rejoice because of them, for in them is strength, and by their means is a pathway opened unto that light. How should it be otherwise, O man, whose life is but a day in eternity, a drop in the ocean of time? How, were thy trials not many, couldst thou purge thy soul from the dross of earth? Is it now that the higher life is beset with dangers and difficulties? Hath it not ever been so with the sages and hierophants of the past? They have been persecuted and reviled. They have been tormented of men. Yet through this also has their glory increased. Rejoice, therefore, Learn first, O thou who aspirest unto our ancient order, that equilibrium is the basis of the work. If thou thyself hast not a sure foundation, whereon wilt thou stand to direct the forces of nature? Know then, that as man is born into this world amidst the darkness of matter and the strife of contending forces, so must his first endeavor be to seek the light through their reconciliation. Thou then, who hast trials and troubles, rejoice because of them, for in them is strength, and by their means is a pathway open unto that light. O man whose life is but a day in eternity, a drop in the ocean of time, how were thy trials not many, couldst thou purge thy soul from the dross of earth? Is it but now that the higher life is beset with dangers and difficulties? Hath it not ever been so with the sages and serpents of the past? They have been persecuted and reviled. They have been tormented of men. Yet through this also has their glory increased. Rejoice, therefore, O initiate, for the greater thy trial, the greater thy triumph, when men shall revile thee and speak against thee falsely. Hath not the Master said, Blessed art thou? Yet, O aspirant, let thy victories bring not vanity, for with increase of knowledge should come increase of wisdom. He who knoweth little thinketh he knoweth much, but he who knoweth much hath learned his own ignorance. Seest thou a man wise in his own conceit? There is more hope of a fool than of him. Man has the right to live by his own law, to live in the way that he wills to do, to work as he will, to play as he will, to rest as he will, to die when and how he will. To man has the right to eat what he kill those who would thwart these rights, the slaves shall serve. Out 58, love is the law, love under will. Man has the right to live by his own law, to live in the way that he wills to do, to work as he will, to play as he will, to rest as he will, to die how he will. For man has the right to eat what he will, to drink what he will, to dwell where he will.
State your fill and will of love as ye will, when, where, and with whom ye will.
Man has the right to live by his own law, to live in the way that he wills to do, to walk as he will, to play as he will, to rest as he will, to die when and how he wills. No man has the right to reach as he will, to drink what he will, to dwell where he For man has the right to love as he
Residential property taxes are dropping 10% this year. And we're shutting down the water sewer garbage tax once and for all.
Race for mayor in Riverton is beginning to take shape, and tonight.
Chicago families are being crushed by rising property taxes. As mayor, I'll cut property taxes 10% in 2027. That means real savings for homeowners.
What the mayor says, the mayor does. Go to ChicagoMayorVote.com. Thanks everybody. Been creating videos for the campaign.